The lives of many friends were forever changed today in a crash so awful it's a little tough to look at the scene. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Pat Lawson-Muse.
I'm Sean Yancey. Two teenagers were inside the speeding BMW when it crashed in Upper Marlboro. The 18-year-old in the passenger seat was killed. The driver survived. Just minutes ago, the Prince George's County School District confirmed that both were students at Wise High School.
Debris was strewn across the crash scene along Upper Marlboro Road near Dunsmore Terrace. News 4's Paul Wagner joins us live there now. And Paul, we understand the road has just been reopened?
Yeah, Pat and Sean, the police have concluded their investigation here, and Upper Marlboro Road is open. As you mentioned, the Prince George's County School System has confirmed that these were two Wise High School students, both seniors, heading into school, which is less than a mile from here. It took the police 7 hours to conclude their investigation, and let me show you that the trailer that the 18-year-old struck from behind is still here on the scene as Prince George's County Police try to figure out exactly how this horrific accident happened.
Jennifer Rios was inside her home with a friend, a nurse practitioner, when they heard the type of crash that makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
The nurse practitioner and I ran outside, and then we went straight to the children, or the people involved, I should say, and then we tried to help as much as we could.
Rios says she knew immediately there was little she could do.
I've been to combat, so of course.
You've been in the Army?
Yes.
Yeah. This was something equal to something you experienced?
The scene, yes, the scene, yeah.
Prince George's County Police say the 18-year-old driver of the BMW struck the back of this landscaping trailer, which sheared off the right side of the car. Police say his passenger, an 18-year-old girl, was thrown from the car and killed immediately. From Chopper 4, you can see where the car came to rest after the collision, a distance of what appears to be several hundred feet. At this time, police are not saying how fast they believe the driver may have been going.
I don't have an exact speed at this time. That's something that the investigation will reveal.
Another neighbor who also heard the crash says when she went to see what happened, it was the sounds that caught her attention.
Yeah, I heard the screaming and crying when they announced the deceased person, and they put the white blanket over the person's body.
Police say the landscaping trailer was stopped at the time, and the landscaping crew was nearby. They declined to comment. Neighbors say there are no speed humps or cameras to slow drivers on this stretch of road, and there needs to be.
These are our children, and we need to change. We need to make something happen because this is ridiculous. Too many lives are being lost. Too many accidents are just happening.
Now, the letter that was sent home to Wise parents says there will be counseling at the school, and it actually lists suggestions on how parents can talk to their kids about what happened out here on this road. We also understand that the 18-year-old driver is still hospitalized in stable condition. Pat and Sean.
Such a tragic story, Paul. Thanks so much.
I'm Erica Gonzalez with breaking news from the live desk. A D.C. police sergeant is in court right now, indicted on federal charges for a deadly 2021 shooting. Sergeant Enos Jevrick is charged with second-degree murder and a civil rights violation in the death of Antoine Gilmore. Sergeant Jevrick shot and killed Gilmore in August of 2021 while Gilmore was in his car. Police found Gilmore with a gun in his waistband, asleep at the wheel, and blocking traffic one morning in Northeast. His car started moving after officers woke him up, and they fired into the moving vehicle, which is against D.C. police policy. MPD released body-worn camera video of the incident. Now that sergeant is appearing in federal court. News 4's Jackie Benson just told us here in the newsroom that the officer pleaded not guilty and was released. We're going to get a live report from Jackie in the next hour here on News 4. For now, we'll send things back to you both in the studio. Sean and Pat.
All right. Erica Gonzalez, thank you. A double shooting in Montgomery County, Maryland forced 5 schools to shelter in place this afternoon. Police arrested one person following that shooting on Lake Landing Road in Montgomery Village around 12:45. 2 people were shot. One has serious injuries. Police believe they will both survive. The shelter in place affected students at Watkins Mill High School, Montgomery Village Middle School, and 3 elementary schools. Officers lifted that shelter order around 3 p.m.
Now an update to a story we told you about at 4 o'clock. D.C. police say an inmate who escaped custody is still on the run. 22-year-old Kenneth Phillips escaped DOC staff this morning while being treated at Howard University Hospital. He ran away from the hospital into the Shaw neighborhood. Phillips was arrested back in November of 2021 for carjacking and burglary. If you see Phillips, you're asked to call police.
The Senate will vote tomorrow to oppose changes to D.C.'s criminal code. The vote will still happen, even though D.C. Council Chair Phil Mendelson pulled the legislation Monday. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer confirmed the vote would take place Wednesday. An aide said senators will not vote on the bill itself, but the House resolution opposing it. The Senate was poised to reject the bill, and President Biden said he would not stop them with a veto. Critics of the bill opposed a number of changes, including reducing the maximum penalty for carjackings and other crimes. Council Chair Mendelson accused lawmakers of playing politics and not actually reading the bill. Now to a story that's refocused fierce attention on the U.S. border with Mexico.
The 2 American survivors of an attack in Mexico are back on U.S. soil. But 2 of the 4 Americans who were attacked and abducted by gunmen on Friday were killed. Of the 2 survivors, 1 is injured. Both suffered a horrific ordeal.
The Americans came under fire soon after crossing the border for Brownsville, Texas. Alice Barr joins us now with new details. Alice, what have you learned?
So we've heard from a number of U.S. officials today talking about the fact that, yes, these 2 survivors are back on U.S. soil. That is first and foremost critical. And then that the remains of the 2 who were killed, there's work underway to bring them back to the U.S. This is raising, international questions about relations between the U.S. and Mexico, concerns for travelers who may want to head down to below the southern border. But for right now, the U.S. saying that they are providing any assistance possible to these families. I think we have some video we can show you of the ambulances actually bringing the 2 survivors back across the border into Brownsville, Texas, from Matamoros, Mexico, just on the other side of the border there. They were taken to a hospital. 1 of the 2 survivors was injured, the other physically unharmed. The group of 4 who were all traveling together had crossed through Brownsville, Texas into Matamoros, Mexico, seeking a medical procedure, according to a family member, an intelligence source saying that it was a cosmetic medical procedure, and that right after crossing over, they came under heavy gunfire. A law enforcement official calling it a likely case of mistaken identity, and there was some video circulating that showed a group of armed men loading the Americans into a pickup truck, taking them off. They were kidnapped, unaware where they were for a number of days until now. We have learned from Mexican authorities saying that they had joint operations with the U.S., tracked the 4 people down, the 4 Americans, and that sadly 2 of them had in fact been killed, 2 now back on U.S. soil. Back to you.
An awful tragedy. Alice Barr with the latest for us. Thank you.
Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell says interest rate hikes, future hikes, could be higher than previously expected. He made those remarks today during testimony before the Senate Banking Committee.
Although inflation has been moderating in recent months, the process of getting inflation back down to 2% has a long way to go and is likely to be bumpy. As I mentioned, the latest economic data have come in stronger than expected, which suggests that the ultimate level of interest rates is likely to be higher than previously anticipated.
Powell says there is little sign of inflation decreasing when it comes to the costs of housing, food, and energy. He's also set to appear before the House Financial Services Committee tomorrow. Well, turning now to the weather, it's been a gorgeous day, but the temperatures are starting to fall.
Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Doug Kammerer joins us now from the Weather Center. All right, so the sun was great today, Doug, but the chill, as Pat mentioned, is setting in, and I know you're tracking some storms heading our way this weekend.
Yeah, we've got a storm coming through on Friday into the day on Saturday, and then another storm as we end the weekend. But out there today, another pretty nice day out there. Take a look and show you what we did as far as temperatures were concerned today. High temperature today in the city, 55 degrees, 50 degrees up towards Hagerstown. Much colder to the north, only 43 in State College, 40 Wilkesboro, Pennsylvania, but near 60 down farther south down around Richmond. Now, we are going to continue to see the cooler air trying to make its way in here. I think we see another nice day tomorrow, another nice day on Thursday before we really start to see that colder air. We've also seen the wind. Look at the winds. 45-mile-an-hour wind gusts today in D.C. That's just this last hour. hour, 37 miles per hour in Annapolis, 40 miles per hour towards Hagerstown. So the wind has been howling out there at times during the afternoon, keeping things on the cooler side. So gusty winds into tonight, staying on the cool side for the next couple of days, tracking rain later Friday, and a potential for this ought to end as a little bit of a wintry mix on Saturday. That and that other storm I'm talking about, the 10-day forecast coming up in a bit.
All righty.
Not a fan of that wintry mix, but, you know, nothing we can do about it, right, Pat?
It's about time.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you, Doug. Some big news for renters in Montgomery County. Leaders there are considering two competing bills that would cap rent hikes.
News 4's Amy Cho is working for you to break down the difference in those bills and how they would affect you and your family.
What do we want? When do we want it? Now!
Renters calling for relief in Montgomery County. It comes as the council is considering a cap in rent hikes, but there's some disagreement on how it should be done.
Affordable housing is not just a nice to have. It's a necessity for every family, for every resident.
Today, Councilmember Will Jawando introduced one of two competing bills. His Home Act would cap rent increases at 3% or inflation, whichever is lower. The bill is backed by a total of two council members and County Executive Mark Elrich. The competing bill calls for rent hikes to be capped at 8% plus inflation. This bill is part of a larger package that would also provide rental assistance, funding for first-time home buyers and homeowners at risk of foreclosure. 6 council members backed this package, which means, as of now, it's the one more likely to pass. Outside the council building, these community members showed up in support of 3%, saying times are tough and they can't afford huge rent hikes.
No one should be put in a situation where they can either give their child money for a hot lunch or pay the rising cost of rent.
But council members backing the 8% cap say they want to find a more middle ground solution that works for property developers too.
It's crucial to make sure that we're not doing something that will scare investment in our community, in our county.
And there are public hearings scheduled for both of these bills later this month. Now today we asked County Executive Mark Elrich what he would do if the bill for the 8% cap is the one that passes. He tells us he would veto that bill in its current state. Amy Cho, News 4.
Providing a path forward. Still ahead on News 4 at 5, Mark Seagraves explains the local program helping inmates become techies.
And if you're an AT&T customer, the company may owe you some money. What you need to know so you can cash in.
Tomorrow, attention shoppers, we're helping you save with Consumer Reports' best buys of the month.
From spring cleaning to allergies, we're giving you the first look at top-rated products drastically marked down.
Plus, Storm Team 4 is working for you with your bus stop forecast tomorrow on News 4 Today.
The D.C. region ranks 4th in the nation for millionaires. Almost 12% of you have that much or more of investable assets. You got there through hard work and disciplined savings. You don't think of yourself as rich. You're often surprised to find out you have $1 million. We call you middle-class millionaires. That's who we serve. That's who we know best. So you can not only build wealth, you can enjoy it too. Kendall Capital, serving middle-class millionaires.
You get more for your money at Thompson Creek.
We do it all.
Design, build, and install.
Right now, you can save 25%. It's our biggest sale of the year, and you get 25% off all windows and doors, plus no interest until 2024. Call 855-57-CREEK.
Y'all feeling lucky? Luke Combs here, and I have an exclusive opportunity for you to win $500,000 by joining me in the Living Lucky with Luke Combs Lottery Experience. When it rains, it pours for lucky fans and lottery players who enter to win a chance of a lifetime. Join me in Nashville for a private concert at the iconic Ryman Auditorium in 2024. One lucky winner will have the chance to walk away with $500,000 at the end of the show.
Living Lucky with Luke Combs. Available at retailers now and as an online game.
Want to put your little tax deductions to work? 54 now has the newest hardwood, tile, laminate, luxury vinyl, and carpet. Call today to get free installation. 50 Floors Home Improvement. Done right. 50 Floor. Phone will be knocking at your door.
Sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
The Justice Department is suing JetBlue. The department is trying to block the airline's proposed takeover of Spirit Airlines. Attorney General Merrick Garland says the merger would be harmful for the middle class.
By acquiring Spirit,
JetBlue will eliminate the largest ultra-low-cost carrier in the United States. This merger will limit choices and drive up ticket prices for passengers across the country.
Currently, Spirit offers rock-bottom prices. To keep ticket prices low, the airline has fees for other things like carry-on bags and seat assignments. JetBlue argues the acquisition would allow for competition with more dominant U.S. airlines. D.C., New York, and Massachusetts joined the DOJ's suit to stop the merger.
Well, AT&T may owe you money and you don't even know it.
Federal officials are trying to get the word out about a $60 million settlement, but you only have a few weeks left to stake your claim.
Linda Baccaro from our sister station in New York explains what you need to know.
If you had AT&T as your wireless carrier, you could get a check in the mail.
I'm not sure about that. I never heard about that story, you know?
No, I didn't hear it, no.
The Federal Trade Commission is trying to get the word out about a $60 million settlement with AT&T. The agency sued the wireless carrier, alleging they slowed down service for some customers with unlimited plans. Evan Rose is a staff attorney with the FTC.
AT&T would significantly reduce data speeds for consumers who went above a certain amount of usage in a billing cycle, a practice known as data throttling. And throttling could make common activities on your phone, web browsing, watching video, difficult or even in some cases impossible.
According to the FTC, AT&T has already paid out $52 million under the settlement, but there's still $7 million for consumers. So who's eligible? You have to be a former AT&T customer. Current customers received a credit on their bill. If you had an unlimited data plan between October 2011 and June 2015 and you experienced data throttling and you didn't already get a payment from AT&T, you can file a claim by going to ftc.gov. The average payout is between $20 and $30. Consumer Law Center attorney Stuart Rossman spoke with my Telemundo 47 colleague Liz Gonzalez.
But when you aggregate that claim together, in that particular case, there was hundreds of millions of dollars that was being assessed against AT&T.
AT&T says while we continue to dispute the allegations in this lawsuit from 2014, we elected to settle in 2019 rather than continue with drawn-out litigation. Customers who qualify for a settlement have until May 18th to file a claim. Linda Baccaro, News 4 New York.
A true crime series about a notorious D.C. murder case is now on Peacock. It's called Who Killed Robert Wagner? It debuted today. Wagner was stabbed to death inside a home in 2006. 3 men were charged in connection with his death, but they were acquitted, and they ultimately settled a civil suit with Wagner's widow. The 2-part series is available now. It's streaming. Peacock is, of course, owned by our parent company, NBC Universal.
Amazon is training the next wave of techies right here in the district, but the students take these courses aren't high school or college students. They're all inmates at the D.C. jail.
That's right. News 4's Mark Seagraves spoke with one man who has been incarcerated for nearly 30 years and is hoping these new computer skills will help him find a career after prison.
For Leonard Bishop, hope isn't just a word or a slogan. It's what keeps him going. Bishop has spent the majority of his life behind bars. Now, 48, he was convicted of murder when he was a teenager. He didn't have much education before going to prison.
I've been locked up since 1994. I was 19. Education was really non-existent. I probably had maybe a 5th grade education.
But while in prison, Bishop managed to get a high school diploma, and recently he was one of 19 inmates who are part of a pilot program at the D.C. jail, receiving training to become certified as Amazon Web Services cloud practitioners.
It's a game changer. It gave people a direction of not only a job, but a career. It just helped me, it gave me direction. Once you're incarcerated for so long, you start to realize the things you thought was important ain't really important. You know what I'm saying? And with the help of programs like this, I believe everybody deserves a second chance.
The program was funded by a grant from Amazon. The course includes basic cloud computing skills like security and cloud concepts and services. The certification can lead to jobs in information technology, business analysis, marketing, and project management. Well-paying jobs.
That was probably the biggest attraction. I believe it's anywhere from $85,000 to $130,000 with the certification I had.
Bishop is eligible for release under D.C. law because he committed his crime before he was 18 and he served more than 15 years. He isn't sure when or if he'll ever be released, but he says having these new skills and the certification relieves one of the biggest fears he and others like him have of returning to society.
The biggest fear is how you going to provide for yourself. And I think this job took away some of that fears.
At the D.C. jail, Mark Seagraves, News 4.
All right, prepare to see more babies on board the next time you ride a Metro bus. The change is going into effect today, and the big impact they'll make for parents who use public transportation.
Plus, a look at the current temperature shows our March is still, it's been mild, but this weekend, well, things look different. Doug is tracking a storm system that could impact your weekend plans.
Millette has changed the game for News 4 today. Your incredible outreach, your personal care that you give to the people who live in the communities that we serve every single morning, we can feel the impact.
Thank you so much for joining us. I feel like that's what I have to do with every neighborhood. I have to give them their moment. I called a woman the other day to ask about a story to do, and she said, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're calling me. I feel special." That's what we do within the community.
Aaron, you're late. I'm sorry. I was out saving a homeowner thousands of dollars over the National Window brand. Well, Window Nation is the better value. And I got lunch.
Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No payments for 24 months. Window Nation, the perfect fit.
Hey, if we want to build the future, we're gonna need some things.
Like a high-speed internet connection that can turn my ideas into reality.
Like the skills to become the world's most powerful coder.
Way more space to collaborate.
Through Project Up, Comcast is committing $1 billion to open doors for the next generation so they can build a future of unlimited possibilities.
Alanis Morissette's Tony and Grammy Award-winning Jagged Little Pill is electrifying, exhilarating, uncompromising. Rolling Stone says it burns with passion. You live, you learn, you remember what it's like to feel truly human at Jagged Little Pill.
Let's get started. Bill, where's your mask?
I really tried sleeping with it, everybody, but I'm done struggling. Now I sleep with Inspire.
Inspire?
Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside my body with just a click of this button.
A button?
No mask?
No hose?
Just sleep.
Yeah, but you need the hose, you need the air, you need the...
Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Learn more and view important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
At Window Nation, if you buy 1 window, you get 1 free. So, class, if you buy 2 windows, how many will you get for free? This is a trick question, right?
Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No payments for 24 months. Window Nation, the perfect fit.
We're back with new video of the winter weather out west. Take a look at this. 2 weeks after a blizzard slammed Southern California, many towns are still buried beneath the snow. And what's worse, there's another storm system on its way to that area.
But it's a very different story here in the DMV as we continue our mild March weather. The temperatures are, of course, having an impact on the cherry blossoms and the blooms. The National Park Service says as of today, we're halfway to peak bloom. Its projected peak bloom dates are from March 22nd through the 25th. Of course, Amelia's dates are a little earlier.
Is this, you know, the colder weather we're getting going to affect that at all?
Yeah, we think it will a little bit, maybe a couple of days, but the fact is now we're seeing sunshine. We're not going to dip below freezing, at least not much. I really think the cherry blossom still, we're going 15th through the 20th. It might be on the later side of that. Earlier we were thinking maybe the earlier side, maybe even before that, but now it's probably the later part of that. But yeah, we'll wait and see. We're not too far away from that. Stage 3 has now been reached, and we could be seeing stage 4 in just a couple of days.
Yeah. Wow.
Let's show you what's happening outside right now as we look outside. High temperatures today, excuse me, 55 degrees in D.C., 56 in Warrenton, 61 down around Charlottesville, and 54 up towards Frederick. So a nice warm day across, well, a nice mild day across our area. We're not talking 60s. We've seen so many days in the 60s around our area, but 50s felt pretty good today, even with the wind, and we still have that wind. A beautiful shot across our region now. Plenty of blue skies, not a cloud in the sky. Temperature right now 53 degrees. Look at that wind, though. Winds out of the north-northwest at 26 miles per hour, and we're seeing some higher gusts, too. Last hour, the high wind gust was 45 in the city, so that's really coming at us. 52 degrees right now in Frederick, 50 in Leesburg. Cooler back to the west of the mountains, only 46 Luray, 45 in Winchester. So you folks are dealing with a wind chill in the upper 30s to low 40s. So it's going to be a cool night across our area. And I say cool, not overly cold. We're not talking about temperatures in the 30s until you wake up tomorrow morning. That's when you might need the jacket, but with the sun tomorrow, things should warm up quickly. No rain, Storm Team 4 radar completely dry. The weather pattern, though, kind of interesting to watch this. We had a little system come through early this morning, making its way down to the south. Look up to the north, up towards parts of New England. These clouds and this snow actually coming from Canada down into parts of the northeast. That's going to be the prevailing flow for the next few days. More of wind out of Canada, bringing us that cooler air across our region, right on down through the next couple of days, bringing us temperatures closer to average, maybe a little below tomorrow, and then Thursday is looking good before we hit some really cool weather as we make our way towards the end of the week and your weekend. So future weather, timing this out through tomorrow morning, waking up to temperatures around the freezing mark in most locations, not overly cold and about average for this time of year. Average is 36, so maybe even a little bit below average tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, high temperatures in the upper 40s to low 50s again. It will still be rather breezy during the day tomorrow, so just know that if you're stepping out the front door, you will need the jackets tomorrow, of course. 55 degrees on Thursday, so Thursday's beautiful. Less wind, sunshine, high of 55. Friday, a high of 47. Afternoon shower activity comes in, and we see some showers overnight Friday into Saturday. Saturday morning could actually end as an AM mix. And notice those temperatures, 47 during the day on Friday, only 48 on Saturday. So definitely cooler. Okay. Again, I'm trying not to say colder.
Right.
Because it's still relative, only 5 degrees below average, but you'll feel it for sure.
All righty.
Thank you, Doug.
Thanks, Doug.
A mother on trial more than 4 years after the shooting deaths of her 2 daughters.
The latest on jury selection as members prepare to weigh whether or not this mother is guilty.
I'm Adam Tuss. Hey, have you noticed a lot more trash by the side of the road? Take a look at I-95 in Maryland. Litter everywhere. And now the state says it's going to do something about it. I'll tell you about what's known as Operation Clean Sweep coming up next.
Direct from Broadway, Into the Woods is now in D.C. Don't miss your chance to get your wish. Final weeks through March 19th. Do all you can to book a ticket. Should you go? Of course you should. Into the Woods at the Kennedy Center. On sale at kennedy-center.org.
Tired of expensive heating and cooling repairs and high energy bills? Call the indoor air experts at Michael & Son. And for a limited time, get 0% interest for 36 months and up to $1,000 off select heating and cooling systems. Don't wait days or weeks to have your system installed. Michael & Son has the region's largest team of HVAC professionals and equipment ready to ensure your family's comfort. Get 0% interest for 36 months and up to $1,000 off select heating and cooling systems by calling Michael & Son today.
If you can, we can. Michael & Son.
At Affordable Dentures and Implants, we believe in the healing power of a new smile, the way it makes you look and feel, the way a smile lights up a room, so people can see the best version of you. Which is why we make new smiles affordable for everyone, so you don't need to wait another day to get your smile back. Scan the QR code to learn more, or visit affordabledentures.com.
Go ahead and smile.
The NBA is back, and with FanDuel, this season's looking better than ever. New customers get a no-sweat first bet and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win, which is truly a thing of beauty. Make every moment more with FanDuel.
Before the Xfinity 10G network, we didn't have internet that let us play all at once.
Every device? In every room?
Where are you up here? With speeds like this, I can't even dream of what he'll be able to do.
Get Xfinity Internet for just $25 a month with no annual contract during our limited time launch celebration.
You have no idea how good you've got it.
Huh?
What a time to be alive.
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity.
A total kitchen remodel was just not practical for us. However, we were hesitant about cabinet refacing because we didn't want a cheap peel and stick solution. Luckily, we found Kitchen Saver. With their custom cabinet refacing process, we received high-quality materials, and their premium finishing methods made our refaced cabinets practically indistinguishable from brand new ones.
Pay $0 out of pocket and save 10% plus no interest and no payments for 18 months. Contact Kitchen Saver today at kitchensaver.com.
You're watching News 4 at 5.
We're back now at 5:30 with an update on a high-profile double murder trial in Northern Virginia.
Late this afternoon, jurors were seated in the case of Veronica Youngblood. She's charged with murdering her two daughters while they slept in their McLean apartment in 2018.
Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Drew Wilder is live at the Fairfax County Courthouse tonight, where opening statements are expected tomorrow. Drew?
Good evening, Sean and Pat. You know, this is going to be an incredibly emotional trial that's expected to last at least 3 weeks as the defendant, Veronica Youngblood, tries to argue that she is not guilty by reason of insanity. And I'm going to explain more about that in just a minute. But first, Youngblood is charged with, as you mentioned, murdering her 5- and 15-year-old daughters in August of 2018, allegedly giving them sleeping pills and then shooting them once they were asleep. Now, prosecutors are seeking 2 first-degree murder convictions. Each carry a potential life sentence. But if Youngblood is found not guilty by reason of insanity, she would then be evaluated by 2 state doctors who would recommend a treatment plan that could include spending the rest of her life at an inpatient mental health. Now, jury selection took 2 full days for this case, and that's a bit longer than usual. And the reason here being this case is incredibly nuanced with both the mental health component and just how emotional the testimony is going to be, especially regarding the 2 young girls in this case. Just to give you guys an example of that, during jury selection today, the defense held up a picture of Youngblood's 5-year-old daughter right after she was killed from the crime scene and held it up to the potential jurors and said, this is going to be some of the evidence that you're going to have to consider. Are you going to be able to get through this emotionally? And at that point, 2 of the potential jurors were excused. But now they're seated, and as you mentioned, opening statements begin tomorrow morning.
It is going to be emotional indeed. Drew Wilder, thanks for the update. We appreciate it.
The Maryland office in charge of investigating police shootings released new details today about Saturday's deadly shooting in the city of Frederick. 44-year-old Joseph Sherrill died. Frederick police officers Robert Hess and Fahad Mirza both fired their weapons. Officer Hess is a 5.5-year veteran. Officer Mirza has been with the department just 8 months. Police say Sherrill was hiding in a closet inside an apartment Saturday, armed with a knife. They say he refused to drop it and moved rapidly toward one officer with a knife held out in front of him. 3 officers at the scene had body-worn cameras. That body cam video will be released within 14 days.
A number of you have reached out to News 4 about all the trash that is stacking up alongside some major roadways.
Yeah, a lot of us have looked at it. We've seen it. Well, now in Maryland, the state says it is almost doubling its efforts to clean up all that trash and then cut the grass as well so that roads look good. Transportation reporter Adam Tuss has the details from I-95 in Laurel.
Trash. Trash. Piling up.
I see it everywhere, sometimes even around like neighborhoods by us, and it really stinks.
Yeah, well, maybe you've noticed it as you've been driving around the state. Trash all over the side of the road. Take a look. This is 95 right by the Laurel rest stop, and you can see just litter and debris pretty much everywhere. But now the Maryland State Highway Administration starting Operation Clean Sweep to get these roads looking tip-top.
On average, we remove about 5,200 truckloads of the big maintenance trucks, truckloads full of litter annually at a cost of more than $7 million.
And while the trash doesn't look good, there are also much bigger concerns. Crews are going to have to start cutting the grass soon because of the mild winter, and that trash can turn dangerous.
Litter can become a projectile and hurt the people cutting the lawn or even the equipment, or it could become a projectile and hit possibly a motorist, pedestrian, or bicyclist.
A lot of this stuff can also clog drains and gutters and wash down to waterways.
I think it's disgusting. I mean, you go to other places, like you go down to Florida, that's where we just came from, the roads are perfectly clean.
but it's interesting as you go further north, it gets dirtier and dirtier.
You think we got a problem up north?
I think so, yes.
I think people just are lazy. You know, they just throw things out and they don't even think about it. I just threw my trash into a bag in my car, and then when I got here, I just dumped it into the trash bag.
Maryland crews are asking you to report any areas where you see a lot of litter. You can do that on the State Highway Administration website. Out on Litter Patrol, Adam Tuss, News 4.
Operation Clean Sweep will take place across the state, but crews are starting their efforts close to home here in the D.C. area and in the Baltimore regions. Virginia's Democratic senators are taking new steps to protect federal workers who are having trouble paying their bills if there's a government shutdown. Last week, Senators Mark Warner and Tim Kaine reintroduced the Federal Employee Civil Relief Act. It lets employees postpone payment obligations for 30 days following a government shutdown or a debt default. We spoke with Senator Kaine today about what's covered in the bill.
They get an amnesty during that shutdown for paying mortgage, car loan, other key bills, and that is in law. Their credit can't be jeopardized, they can't be foreclosed on, they can't have property repossessed.
Democrats back this bill, meaning it may face an uphill battle in the Republican-controlled House. Sean?
The former Speaker of Virginia's House of Delegates will not run for another term in office. Delegate Eileen Fillercorn still represents Virginia's 41st District in Fairfax County. She was the first woman elected Speaker of the Virginia House. She served in that role from 2019 to 2021 when Republicans regained control of the House of Delegates. Delegate Fillercorn did not say what's next for her, only that she is heading into a new chapter.
New safety concerns for air travelers after a startling incident was caught on video.
From unruly passengers to air traffic control issues, the growing anxieties heading into spring break this travel season.
Tomorrow, attention shoppers, we're helping you save with Consumer Reports' best buys of the month.
From spring cleaning to allergies, we're giving you the first look at top-rated products drastically marked down. We're working for your wallet tomorrow on News 4 Today.
Today's What to Wear forecast is brought to you by the all-new Safford Brown, now with 26 convenient locations, giving you more ways to buy happy. Shop online at saffordbrown.com.
At M&T Bank, we celebrate all of the people that make up our communities. In honor of Women's History Month, we commemorate the vital role women have played in shaping American history as leaders, mentors, and role models, trailblazing a path forward and championing the future for all women. M&T is proud to sponsor Women's History Month on NBC4. Together, we can celebrate and empower the diverse communities in which we live and work.
Ashby Ponds, Green Spring, and Riderwood offer more than senior living. We're the DMV's premier communities for active living, healthy living, easy living. Here, no matter the weather, you can enjoy carefree living, secure living. More than senior living, this is extraordinary living. More freedom, more value, more peace of mind, no matter the weather. Get more from your retirement at Ashby Ponds, Green Spring, and Riderwood. Call or visit us online for your free brochure.
When you get to work, turn on 97.1 Wash FM for 2 hours of commercial-free music. 2 hours of non-stop variety starting at 8:40. Washington's variety station, 97.1 Wash FM.
Tesla full self-driving will run down a child in a school crosswalk, swerve into oncoming traffic, hit a baby in a stroller, go straight past stopped school buses, ignore do not enter signs, and even drive on the wrong side of the road. Tesla's full self-driving is endangering the public with deceptive marketing and woefully inept engineering. 90% agree that this should be banned immediately. Why does NHTSA allow Tesla full self-driving?
DC's home for the best of Broadway is BroadwayAtTheNational.com.
We're back now with video of a Massachusetts man accused of attacking a flight attendant mid-flight.
Passengers on a United flight from LA to Boston captured this video. Prosecutors say it shows Francisco Torres trying to stab a flight attendant with a broken metal spoon.
As NBC's Tom Costello reports, it's just one of the safety concerns for air travelers heading into a busy spring travel season.
Good afternoon. We're now seeing firsthand through video just how serious this case was of the passenger on the LA to Boston flight getting up out of his seat and allegedly trying to attack with a broken spoon a flight attendant. Other passengers immediately came to her aid, jumped on the suspect, held him down until they landed in Boston. The suspect is now being held on federal charges, could face up to life in prison if convicted. It comes as we are now very much in a season of concern about aviation safety. 6 runway close calls already this year. We've just learned about this case involving two flights in Sarasota, one cleared to land on the same runway that another flight was cleared to depart from at the same time. The NTSB says it could be yet another case of an air traffic control error, and it comes as the FAA is holding a national air safety summit set for next week. On NBC Nightly News, we're going in depth on all of this, the concern that many passengers have as we go into the very busy spring break season.
And that was NBC's Tom Costello reporting. You can look for Tom's full report on NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. It's coming up at 7 o'clock right here on NBC4.
The U.S. Capitol Police Chief ripped Fox News host Tucker Carlson today for spreading what he called offensive and misleading conclusions about the January 6th insurrection. NBC News obtained Chief Thomas Manger's letter to the Capitol Police Force. In the letter, he expressed his outrage over the way Carlson cherry-picked footage from January 6th on his program last night. He says the commentary fails to provide context about the chaos and violence that took place before or during these less tense moments. Manger also says the most disturbing accusation from last night was Carlson's claim that Officer Brian Sicknick's death had nothing to do with the attack.
Coming up, a big change for families who use public transit. The switch up on D.C.'s Metro buses that could make it easier for parents with young kids to get around.
Plus, Amelia has a check on the forecast.
National Park Service saying we're halfway to peak bloom, but Doug and I are tracking a big cool down. So what can you expect and what does this mean for the cherry blossoms? The latest in our updated forecast.
Coming up.
We're hanging with a local mom who's putting life into perspective, one frame at a time.
I'm like the gallery guru of the DC area.
Her advice for creating the picture-perfect gallery wall.
Don't be afraid to put a little hole in your wall.
That's next in For Your Home.
Let's get started. Bill, where's your mask?
I really tried sleeping with it, everybody. Now I sleep with Inspire.
Inspire? No mask? No hose?
Just sleep.
Learn more and view important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Any painter can paint, but only CertaPro painters come with power. The power of a team who knows what they're doing. The power of dialing up the wow factor to 11. The power of living where you live and liking the same coffee shop you do. The power of being the talk of the cul-de-sac or the office park. If you want certainty, you want CertaPro painters. The power of pro. Start your project at CertaPro.com.
No, mates, we're so close. We're so close. We can write this song tonight. We all live in a
Jello tub of green.
Can't just start with St. Patty's Day.
mellow Halloween. It's not a holiday song, mates. Come on, think.
Yellow Submarine.
That's it.
If you can't, we can. Michael and Son.
If you can't, we can. Michael and Son.
Bathfitter doesn't just fit your bath. With hundreds of custom designs, it fits your style. With our unique tub-over-tub installation in just a day, it fits your schedule with no demo or mess. With quality that's guaranteed for life, it fits your high standards. It just fits. Bathfitter.
Don't wait. Call right now and pay no interest for 24 months. Find out why Bathfitter is the perfect fit.
Direct from Broadway, Into the Woods is now in D.C. Don't miss your chance to get your wish. Final weeks through March 19th. Do all you can to book a ticket. Should you go? Of course you should. Into the Woods at the Kennedy Center. On sale at kennedy-center.org.
So with a Planet Fitness Black Card, I'll get a post-workout glow like that guy.
Everybody knows that you need to glow.
And I get a free Amazon Halo to track my fitness and sleep.
Sign up for the PF Black Card for $1 down, $24.99 a month to get a free Amazon Halo View. Ends March 15th.
Couldn't use CPAP. Now I have this. Inspire's a sleep apnea treatment that works inside my body with a click of this remote.
No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Learn more and view important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Well, the push to incentivize a 4-day work week in Maryland is dead, at least for this year. Maryland Matters reports that state lawmakers pulled the pilot program because of a lack of funding and support. Bills in the Maryland House and Senate would have offered a tax credit to businesses that implemented a 32-hour work week instead of the traditional 40 hours. That credit would have been worth up to $10,000, and workers would have been paid as if they're still working those 40 hours. Supporters hope to fund a study on a 4-day work week before they reintroduce a similar proposal. All right, now to the art of framing. The self-professed gallery guru of D.C. has built a following for her sometimes ornate, but more often structured gallery walls.
News 4's Erica Gonzalez is here and introducing us to Frame Master Mare in today's For Your Home. Hi, Erica.
Hi, ladies. You may have seen her work on the gram. Now this local mom and business owner is sharing her approach to hanging some of life's most precious moments. She goes by Frame Master Mare on Instagram and has a faithful following, all here to see her hang.
I'm like the gallery guru of the DC area.
Meredith Forte is a DMV native who started in the framing business while in school.
And I worked at a picture frame shop after high school. And then when I went to college, I worked in a picture frame shop. And then when I left college, I worked in another picture frame shop in DC. I did not do well in math when I was in school, but fractions and decimal points I can visualize.
Fast forward many years in the biz and her own studio, Frame Avenue Design in Kensington, Maryland, the pandemic brought forth a new need.
Now we're concerned about our walls.
And with that, she was thrust into people's feeds and homes, clients asking her to not only frame their mementos, but hang them too. Her biggest request, she says, are family photo galleries.
Photo shoot photos, like stage photos, should really try and go on the main levels of your house. Showing off the best versions of yourself. Even if you feel like a hot mess, those photos will be there on the wall to prove that you can get it together. The candid photos, like the beach trips, like the soccer pics, the extended family pics. The candids can go more on the top levels.
Forte credits years of practice and a fearless approach to a hammer and nail for making it look easy.
But don't be afraid to put a little hole in your wall.
Whether it's art, sports, or family, your favorite things can be masterful.
When they come in your home and they see an organized grouping, it gives off the idea that you have it together, that you're organized, and you like things clean, and you care about your appearance, and it makes you happy. And caring about your home is a good thing.
Indeed it is. I love that she says, even if you are a hot mess, it at least looks like you have it together. Meredith says she'll only hang artwork as high as she can go on a stepladder. She doesn't do heights. And even after years in the business, she admits that gallery walls along the staircases, those are still the trickiest work that she does. We'll send things back to you guys in the studio.
I think there's a real art to framing.
Isn't there really is. I mean, and she makes it look easy. She makes it look easy. Right. But there's a science to it. Like she says, I kept telling her, I said, Meredith, I see so much STEM in what you do, right? All the numbers and all that. It's just not the way that my mind works. And she said, I was good at fractions, and that's what has carried her all this way.
No wonder my stuff is kind of crooked. Just saying, wasn't good at fractions.
I hear you. I'm the same way.
Thanks, Erica. All right, let's turn to Doug and Amelia for an artistic, creative look at the forecast. I think there's something creative going. Did you see that little line going through there, you guys? That was some magic going on.
Well, we did that. We wanted to make
you
sure
want to frame you guys.
Art, art coming at you.
All right.
I was in the wrong place. I was supposed to be over here, though, so there we go. What are we dealing with today? You know, we've got some cooler numbers out there, but still a nice afternoon today.
Yeah, I mean, we hit 55 degrees for a high temperature. Our average high starting tomorrow about 54, so right on track, but some cooler air is moving in for the end of the work week on into the weekend.
Yeah, especially Friday into Saturday with a little bit of a system coming our way, too. Let's take a look and show you what we're dealing with right now. It's been rather breezy all day today. We continue to see the winds. They were gusting 30 to 40, even 45 miles per hour. Right now, you can see the flag blowing in the wind, but not all that much. Also, the trees kind of blowing, and it's going to be a nice sunset this evening. 53 degrees right now. Temperatures dropping through the 40s down to the upper 30s by around 10, 11 o'clock tonight in most locations. So it'll be a cool night tonight. tonight, but not overly cold, even though tonight could be a little below average for that low temperature early tomorrow morning. 48 right now in Gaithersburg, 52 at Dulles, 49 Silver Spring, and 50 degrees right now in Camp Springs. Now, we are still dealing with those winds. They'll begin to subside as the sun goes down, but it's going to stay breezy right on through the day tomorrow as well. We're not dealing with any rain out there right now. Our next storm system is way out to the west. We're not going to see anything for a couple of days. We got a lot of sunshine going on, but look to the north. See how all this is coming down from Canada? That's the cooler air, and that's kind of the temperature regime we're going to be in. Much cooler air coming in over the next couple of days, even though, Amelia, we're still talking, we say much cooler air, it's still going to be about average tomorrow. Thursday's looking good. The real cold air moves in later this week.
Yeah, I mean, Friday and Saturday, high temperatures only in the 40s. So it's going to be interesting to see when we hit stage 4 with the cherry blossoms. Of course, the National Park Service declaring this afternoon that the blossoms are now in stage 3, so they are halfway there. My forecast for peak bloom, that's been 70% of the Yoshino blossoms are out at the tidal basin between March 15th and the 20th. But again, with this cooler weather, I think it's really going to slow down the progression a little bit, especially getting to peak bloom. I mean, here's a look at your temperature trend. Temperature highs now average over the next few days in the mid-50s. So right around normal tomorrow, Thursday. In fact, Thursday's looking like a really great day out there. But then look at this cool down for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Still a little bit on the chilly side out there, but still no extreme cold. And the best news is, talking about temperatures, once the blossoms get farther along, you don't want the temperatures to go below 27 degrees. That is really bad news for the blossoms. We don't see that happening, thankfully, on the 10-day forecast, but what we are keeping a close eye on Friday and Saturday. So here's what you can expect. Looks like a dry start Friday, but rain moves in later in the day, maybe during the afternoon hours, but especially during the evening hours. We then continue to have rain out there for Saturday morning. Temperatures could be cold enough to see some wet snow mixing in, but not sticking. And the best chance for that would be north and west of Washington. So again, we're looking at a storm system to move in Friday on into Saturday. Doug, I have to quick. I've been in my house 17 months and 10 days. I know that because of my son's birthday.
Okay.
Do you know how much stuff is hanging on our walls because of how excited we are about framing things?
I've been to your house once, but that was a while ago.
Yep.
I'm going to go with nothing.
Nothing. We don't have one photograph on the walls. We don't have one piece of artwork. I know. They're still in the closet.
I'm letting you know, I am kind of a handy dude.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know if you need any help.
Well, I'll put you up to the test, see how your frame will. Maybe going down the stairs really give you a challenge.
Okay, I didn't know we were talking steps. All right, 53 degrees, rather breezy tomorrow, 55 degrees on Thursday. There's that storm coming in late Friday into Saturday. And again, we could end this as a little bit of a wintry mix out there, but colder than average temperatures on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then almost all of next week we are predicting to be below average. So it is going to be a cooler couple of days there. So watch out for that. You're going to need the jackets, maybe the coats a little bit more, but we're still not talking gloves, hats, anything like that. And we're still saying keep the snow shovels at bay.
Okay.
All righty.
I'm thinking Saturday, with the look of that forecast, might be a good day for you to go over to Amelia's and help
out.
I'm ready. I am in. I don't charge much at all.
All right. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you. Well, tonight on NBC4, the musical trivia game extravaganza, That's My Jam, returns for season 2.
Tommy McFly caught up with the Tonight Show's Jimmy Fallon, the host of That's My Jam, in the scene.
I was like, I don't even know how to describe this show. It's like, it's a game show.
That's my jam!
It's variety, it's music-based trivia, games, and then singing. A lot of singing, weird stuff. Our first show, we have Jason Derulo singing a beautiful opera rendition of the Thong Song. I'm not sure if we need it, but we have it.
It's cool to see the layers too, because you think like Jason Derulo, like the auto-tune, but to know that he's got operatic chops and that he can make Cisco so cultured, my goodness.
Yeah, I don't even know if we had him say Jason Derulo. We should have had that. Next year, do you want to write on the show for next year? I need your help.
Let's say we get you to a karaoke bar at some point. What's your song?
I like to do Mick Jagger. I do a little Rolling Stones, Beast of Burden, whatever comes up, I can do that one.
Jimmy, we've seen you come to DC for like many things over the years. You've had presidents and first ladies on your show. Who's your dream DC guest for That's My Jam?
Are you saying you're available, Tommy?
I mean, sure. I thought you were going to say Michelle Obama, but yes, I'm also available.
You're number one. You're number one in my books, bud. Whenever you want to make the trip, let's do this. Yeah, I guess Michelle Obama would be great, actually. I think she could probably do, or Barack. They've been on the show a bunch of times. I know their type of musical taste. Anyone from Ben's Chili Bowl? They're always welcome to the Tonight Show or That's My Jam. They make the best chili dogs in the entire world. Every time I go to DC, I go to Ben's Chili Bowl.
They're celebrating 65 years this year.
So I was doing an initiative with the White House for Michelle Obama about being fit and in shape, and I had to go to Ben's Chili Bowl, but I couldn't explain that to Michelle. So I did 10 push-ups on the sidewalk. Every hot dog I went in and got, I think I got about 5 hot dogs, so I did about 50 push-ups.
Next time you're at Ben's, I'll see you there. They've got chili. Turkey chili. They've got turkey chili. It's healthy.
Oh, I'll do that. Thank you, bud. I appreciate that. Good man. Always good to see you, pal.
Great to see you too, and congrats on the season. Tuesday is 10 o'clock here on News 4.
DC's home for the best of Broadway is BroadwayAtTheNational.com.
Hi, I'm Sean Yancey with NBC4. This month, we discover her stories during Women's History Month. The two women who hold a special place in my heart are my mom and my grandmother. I would not be the woman I am without their love, encouragement, and guidance. Join NBC4 as we celebrate Women's History Month. Watch on TV, online, and in these apps. NBC4, honoring women's history and working for you.
Want to put your little tax deductions to work? 54 now has the newest hardwood, tile, laminate, luxury vinyl, and carpet. Call today to get free installation. 50 Floors Home Improvement. Done right. 50 Floor. Phone will be knocking at your door.
In order for small businesses to thrive, they need to be smart, efficient, agile, and that's never been more important than it is right now. So for a limited time, Comcast Business is introducing Small Business Savings. Call now to get powerful internet for just $39 a month, with no contract and a money-back guarantee. All on the largest, fastest, reliable network from the company that powers more businesses than anyone else. Call and start saving today. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Fun stuff goes into your vehicle every season of the year. But so does some really messy stuff. You need complete year-round protection, like laser-measured cargo liners from WeatherTech. Or the bump step to protect your bumper. Add laser-measured floor liners to keep the carpet looking new, while the cup phone keeps your phone secure. So don't let the elements spoil your fun. Order your American-made products at WeatherTech.com.
Turn the party up.
Oh, it's on.
Where's my lawyer? Turn the party up. Let's jam.
It was nice knowing you dry.
Yeah.
Let's jam.
Sexy back done in Broadway style.
I'm bringing sexy back. Hey, how you doing? Turn the party up. Let's jam.
Starting today, you don't have to fold your child's stroller in order to board a Metro bus. The transit agency is changing its stroller policy. You can keep your stroller open as long as it doesn't block the aisles or the doorways. News 4's Megan McGrath has more.
Metro bus just got more family friendly. Open strollers are now allowed on buses, which means parents will no longer have to collapse strollers before climbing on board. Parents like Vanna Lavery are happy about the change.
Oh, it's fantastic. So when you're juggling a coffee and a baby and everything, it's just really challenging. So, and plus when there's a lot of people, you want to be able to move quickly.
I think that the anxiety about what you're going to do with your stroller keeps people from using it. So yeah, I think it could be a big help.
Metro says about 18,000 daily bus trips involve customers taking children to school or daycare or running errands with kids. The change in policy was prompted by customer feedback. Olga Cano and her neighbors started a petition 5 years ago. She's thrilled to see it finally happen.
You just have to speak up and kind of get your voice out there. So it was very exciting.
Now there are some rules. Those bringing open strollers on board should use the priority seating areas at the front of the bus, and stroller wheels must be locked. Strollers cannot block the aisle.
So the idea is that people could be here with their strollers.
Metro's general manager Randy Clark helped hand out kid-friendly freebies at the Eastern Market Station this morning to let people know about the new stroller policy.
We do think this will make it better for parents, so that might be new parents using the system or parents with kids using it just more.
First dibs on the priority seats still go to the disabled and the elderly, then to parents. If there aren't any seats left, then you will have to fold that stroller. In the district, Megan